Hi, I'm Dr. Juice. I'll just be commenting over a little bit of tank footage that I got, just to sort of give some insight on what I'm thinking, what I'm tanking. Anyways, so here's the first fight I had of the night. While I was driving up to the base that I wanted to be at, I heard a lightning fire off. So I'm slowing down, I'm trying to figure out where he is, looking around. See a little bit of movement over to the right. So I notice him. I back up a bit to make sure he doesn't see me. Take note of his location. Now I'm starting to kind of stalk him and start to close the distance. Also take note of any other vehicles that might be around. So we're dealing with the sunderer and the lightning. I want the lightning gun first, that can kill me the fastest and can also cause the most problems for my teammates. So he's right there. Get ready to rock and roll. Hit barrage. Missed the first shot. Genius. No worries. He's unaware of me until it's too late, and that's an easy fight. Now I'm moving in to engage with the sunderer and get rid of that. So I see it's already smoking. The terrain I'm about to drive up to is a little bit weird. Just like I can't quite get the good angle from a distance. But I'll find something and make it work. Now, I immediately noticed another lightning on the minimap, so I moved to engage that first instead, since that's the bigger threat. So, here we go. 2 shots. I know that I'm going to win this fight, even though I'm going to take a bit of damage. I feel like I could have ended it quicker if I used my barrage there, but I guess I saved it for the tankier threat, which was a sunderer. Anyways, I'm just kind of ducking behind cover and firing, so I'm not just sitting in machine gun fire the whole time. I get out to repair, but I notice that my teammate disappears from the mini-map when he goes to engage the sunderer driver around the corner. They're both dead, so I just back up and continue repairing. So, tank's fully fixed up. Now I'm just going to be going around the base and trying to find anything else that might be present. Usually it's a sunderer, and that's what I'm looking for. I can hear some gunfire and some impacts over here, so that's what I'm looking first. And sure enough, there's a sunderer. Zoom in, hit the engineer first. I don't know why. I think I just didn't want him to be repairing the thing while I'm trying to kill it. Yeah. He's looking around a bit more, trying to find any other spawns or targets. Find this poor fella. Beacons a spawn option. Take that out. It wasn't fast enough, so they still got a drop pod in. I'll just leave that to the infantry from the base. Got Max moving in. You can see him on the minimap. He should be able to handle himself. Of course, I'm gonna tell him, "Hey, get the point in chat." Anyways, I see some flashes come in, so just move to engage with that. And this guy hits me with a little surprise. Little, very speeded light assault that is trying to obliterate my tank with C4. It's a little bit hard to hit. Struggle a bit with that. Luckily, I have teammates around me that notice him. But yeah. Also, I got lucky there. If my teammate wasn't there, I wouldn't have noticed him, and he probably would have got me with C4. Anyways, another Sunday in the garage. Just gonna deal with that real quick, and I could have sworn I just killed that guy 2 seconds ago. Anyways, this right here is why you keep distance from sunderers. They're like a hornet nest, and a bunch of infantry is just gonna fly out of it. So it's pretty dangerous to engage them this close. But we'll make do. Anyways, get rid of that. Try to save the Sunday. Unfortunately, the heavy's wearing a lot of armor. And there's a bunch of other stuff I have to do. So, Sunday goes down, but I take down a few guys. Anyways, now there's no vehicular for threats, so I move to engage with any infantry that are still in the base. All I know is there's one dude in this building right next to me, so I'm just trying to figure out where he's going and wait for him. I saw that he killed my teammate there, so I moved to get outside on the doorway. I missed my opportunity, and then he just sits there. So I want to keep him there. And I think I kept him there until he redeployed. So I'm going to be here a while. I'm just going to speed up the footage. A little confused why he didn't see anything, but I think the guy redeployed. And it took a heavy going in there and looking at the corner after I was shooting it for like 8 seconds to convince me that there's nothing there. And I sort of just laughed at myself. Anyways, so the fight at this base is pretty much done. Mostly. So this next minute or two, I'll just spend waiting for somebody to pull a sunderer to start moving up to the next base. I'm gonna wait for that bus so I can escort it and help it get into position. Anyways, it takes a little bit, so I'm just gonna be waiting and blowing up anything that comes from the next base, which is, as you'll see, mostly just flashes. You can sort of tell that they're there because I can hear the engine. It's very faint, but if you listen closely, you can hear it. And there you are. So yeah, it'll be a moment.
Visual on hostile flash.
Alright, now I see that we have a sunderer rolling up. So I go to escort that until it gets into a position to deploy. It's a sick drift. It's on his way. So I hear somebody shot at the sunderer, and I notice a light assault. I immediately back up so it's harder for him to see for me, and then I attempt to hit him. Oh, my gunner gets him. It's a nice shot. Anyways, now that light assault knows two things. He knows that I'm there for one, so I'm a threat that he's going to want gone, so I have to be cautious of that. But more importantly, he also knows where the Sundy is and where it's headed. So he's just going to constantly be making a beeline for that for the duration of this fight, which will cause us problems if we don't constantly deal with it. I'm hearing a weird, like, sort of humming sound in the air. I think it might have been an aircraft. I was looking around for an aircraft, but I didn't find one, so I have to find that out later. Anyways, I heard the cloak sound of an NC infiltrator, so just sort of looking around for that too.
Enemy flash spotted.
This guy's flash. Fortunately, I did not hit the mark. The guy just took a tank shell and lived.
Light assault in the area.
Anyways, I get distracted by this guy for quite a bit.
Light assault trooper.
I keep missing shots. Keep hearing that infiltrator. Trying to just shoot where I think he might be. Anyways, I start to hear the tracks of a lightning approaching, so I get ready to engage with that, but I get distracted by the light assault again, so I try to get him, but just can't seem to hit the shots today. So it's like, alright, it's time to engage the lightning. So, single lightning shouldn't cause me too many problems. I did try to ram it at the end and went over it, which could have been really bad for me if the driver hadn't hopped out and ran over my tank. But oh, I should also mention we'll be seeing that specific driver several more times in this sequence. Anyways, I can also hear the hum of an ant over to the left up the road, so I look around for that. I find the silo. I notice a cordium node nearby, so I'm like, he must be mining that. And sure enough, there he is. So I just go and deal with that real quick. Also get rid of the tank mines I spotted earlier. What I didn't hear was this guy. He's back, and another lightning. This time the ram did work, but I caught a shell on my back, so that hurt quite a bit. Anyways, I go back to repair, and surprise! My gunner goes down. So I try to get rid of this guy. I sort of trying to follow the slight shimmer, but I miss and I lose track of him. So just gotta move on. Or just waiting for him to uncloak or slip up. He does, but he gets killed by my teammates, so now I know it's safe to hop out and repair. Should probably mention now that my main job in this scenario is keep that bus alive. Like, that bus is the only thing keeping this fight alive. At least until these other two buses show up. That helps a lot. But as a tank, my job is to protect the buses from a tank like that. Also, probably should have called it out earlier, but I did spot a Vanguard for a brief second on the minimap, so I called it out in Yo Chat. Funnily enough, it's the same driver that we saw earlier in those two lightnings. And I don't think he likes me too much. Let's see, if you want to study the profanity filter in the game and figure out what each cat means, then go right ahead. Anyway, so I'm just sort of waiting for that Vanguard to present itself and make the first move. And I'm just kind of trying to stay hidden so I can sort of plan around it. I don't know exactly where he is, but then I hear his cannon fire off. As a particular sound, so I know it's a Vanguard. It's the JGX-12 cannon. So I go for that. So I know there's one Vanguard firing at something over on the other side of this hill. So I go to get behind it, so I have the best chance at killing it when I engage it. Vanguards are tricky because if you engage them head on or they turn around quickly, they will just throw up the shield and they will almost always win that fight. So you kind of have to really plan around them. Anyways, I'm also hearing another cannon fire off, a lightning cannon. You can hear the two different distinct sounds. Anyways, you're around the corner. We spot the lightning first. I'm praying that this gunner does not give away our position early by shooting lightning. Luckily it doesn't. Now I engage the Vanguard from behind, where his shield isn't effective at all. He's gone. Now I move to engage the lightning. And that threat is dealt with. And that guy too. That could have been very bad. I got a very lucky shot there. Oh, and I can't help but taunt the guy who called me a reach cat earlier. Anyways, head back over to the Sundies, and I get ready to start fixing the tank again. Well, at least until I know this guy. That's my job, protect the sundies. Don't really know what that dervish was engaging, but I was curious. I kind of just assumed it was a silo, so didn't give it too much thought. Anyways, I'm just sort of trying to be quiet and listen for threats. I can hear the infantry engaging each other. I'm also just keeping an eye open for any vehicles. Usually I'm able to hear stuff before I see them. Ears are very important. I think it was right there that I heard that Vanguard shot fire off again. So, out of curiosity, I go to move up ahead and figure out where it is and what it's shooting at. So, by process of elimination, I concluded that it's dealing with that sunderer on the minimap that you see at the forward base. Now it just went down, heard it explode, and its marker disappeared. So, now I'm just going to be waiting here for quite a bit, just because I expect him to come this way around the road, and I was trying to surprise him, but he went a different direction than I was expecting, and that surprised me, and also worried me quite a bit, because now there's a Vanguard and I have no idea exactly where it is. It'll be a bit before I decide that he's not there anymore, and I reposition. But I'm just listening and looking for any sign of a Vanguard. And there's the first sign. You can hear the cannon. So he went around and got behind me, and he's currently attacking the sundies. So I sort of failed at that job in this situation. I did not protect the sundies, and one of them went down. Now I have to engage an angry Vanguard, and he turned around and flipped a shield when I didn't expect him to, so I panicked and just tried to break line of sight best I could. Luckily, I had a lot of teammates there. Anyways, killed that for some health, ransack, and luckily, I got extremely lucky there. My gunner managed to get the last shot on him, kill him before he got a shot on me. I would have died if one more shot hit my tank. But yeah, that was a very close call, but I got very lucky there. Anyways, now I'm determined to keep this one last Sunday alive. Unfortunately, its position isn't too great. It's sort of in the middle of the road. But I'll make do. So just more waiting and listening. Hear another lightning. I moved to engage that, but infantry tonight were on top of it. Blew it up in like a few seconds. So that was nice. I move out, I also spot that guy. And another lightning. So I go to engage what's right in front of me. And I saw that Vanguard took a left turn, so I expect him to go on that flank route again. I also spot him on the mini-map briefly, so I expected him to take that same route he did earlier. So I go up into this little hill position here and just sit and wait, hoping to catch him off guard. Now, unfortunately, he never does come around that corner. So I'm just listening and trying to figure out exactly where he is. Also dealing with this guy over here. So hear the cannon, I see the tracer, I know about where he is. See the tracer that time. Luckily, he switched his flat gun and really gave away his position there. So I decide that it's worthless if I just stay right where I am. So I move into the gauge, but I also noticed that his shell impacted that sun, our last sun. So I start flooring the gas pedal. I don't want that thing to go down. Fortunately, a combination of missed shots and slow response from me leads to our Sunday going down. So I'm kind of like kicking myself right now. It's just, damn it. My one job, protect the Sundays, I failed. So I move in to take down this Vanguard. Now, I would say now I probably should have planned better. Driving up this close and trying to engage it head on was stupid of me. But I'm just doing what I can. So, fires off. I know where he is now. Anyways, I think he spotted me. Go to shoot. Unfortunately, just barely miss. So I'm like, he probably doesn't expect me to go over this hill. And I am so very wrong. And I try to back up. My tank turned a little bit into that rock. That really screwed me over. Now I'm low and he's coming back around the corner. This is just a bad situation. Luckily he's out of shield. I had a teammate with an exploding crossbow hitting him, and my wonderful gunner managed to finish him off. So that was another really close call. Now that same driver, he's not very happy. He's very unhappy. Oh well. So head back in, see if there's anything left to do at this base. But from the looks of it, our infantry finished up their work here, captured all the flags, captured the base. So, start getting ready to move up to the next one. Now, the rest of this footage is quite uneventful. It's just me waiting and listening around for a threat that never really shows up. So, I'll speed up the footage in a bit. Anyways, I decided that this little 28-minute sequence in particular would be pretty nice to narrate over, because it's not too long, and it's all one life, one take. And it was also during pretty low pop hours, so the fights were pretty tame. So it wasn't just chaos and destruction the entire time. It's like I had some room to breathe, and I have a little bit of downtime to sort of explain what's going through my head during these fights. Most tank fights will be a lot more hectic and chaotic than this, but this one I'm able to sort of like demonstrate and explain what my role is, what I'm trying to do, and how I'm doing it. Anyways, after this, I don't think there's too much more to show, but at the end I will show you how this tank dies. So just sit tight. Just notice that guy that I just shot was the same tank driver that I pissed off earlier. Anyways, I think right about now is when I'll show the tank and how this run ends. So I'll stop talking. I'll just let the action speak for itself.